Squeegee, and as always, this is being brought to you on behalf of windowcleaningresource.com. Well, the weather's getting nice again. We're looking towards spring, so this will probably be our final winter episode this time. But I wanted to talk again about ladder safety. I know we've covered it, but specifically with inclines. Now, we were here last week to do this gutter job, but there were still some serious ice dams sitting on the roof. And I was afraid that if I tried to clear them out of the gutter, I was going to have sheets of ice trying to knock me off the ladder. So we decided to wait, and sure enough, the weather has changed here in Iowa, and the piles of snow that we used to have are now just a couple little piles. So we're just about done with it. Thank goodness. We've had enough snow this year to last me my lifetime. But I wanted to talk a minute about ladders. We don't own a 32-foot extension ladder, which is what's required on this particular job to get to that little section of gutter. Just a few feet of gutter, but it takes a lot of leaves from back here. And that being the case, as you saw as you came up, there's a pretty good little incline here. On the other side where we do some gutters, same way, there's a slight incline. And you might be tempted, especially in the lesser incline, to just kind of, oh, the ladder's not quite level, it won't go anywhere. But that's not safe. Some guys might put a little piece of wood or something under there to level it up. And I have done that in the past until I figured out that there was a better way to do it. And that way is with me today. It's the pivot tool, available at windowcleaningresource.com. Seth Fensterstock talks a lot about the pivot tool. I love the thing. It's great for a lot of reasons. I know some guys like to have a dedicated leg leveler, but as I said, we don't own a 32-foot ladder. We rent this just a couple times a year. For the couple of times a year that I need a 32-foot ladder, I just can't justify spending the money on that when there are other things that I can, use in my business. So for a couple bucks, I rent this thing from a local rental place for a whole day if I need it, or a week for about 30 bucks. So it just doesn't make sense for me right now to purchase a big long ladder like that. That being said, then I can't really put on their ladder a set of level locks, and the rental places around here don't really have 32-foot ladders equipped with a set of leg levelers for liability reasons. So the pivot tool allows me to rent any size ladder I need anytime and have a leg leveling device right there ready to go. And I use it for just the tiny front little edge of it. When we're further down the hill, I just had it resting there. Now it doesn't look like much, but that was enough to do most of my leveling in the lower areas over here. And now here, as you can see, this is a pretty good incline, but with the pivot tool, I'm able to just level that out without even worrying about it. And this is on the low side. I can flip that over and really do even higher inclines. So that one tool now has allowed me to not really need to buy, at this particular time, a 32-foot ladder, buy a set of leg levelers, and slap them on. Not to mention the fact that you always seem to be hearing about this leg leveler failing or that leg leveler failing. This is a solid piece of equipment. I check it out each time I'm going to use it, make sure there's no cracks or anything like that. Mine's fairly new, but if you get one, make sure you're doing the safety checks. I do the same thing with the ladder when I get it. Make sure that they've checked it out, that I've checked it out, that it's all safe. And then when I'm setting it up, if I'm not on a solid surface like this, again, I'm going to just go up a couple rungs and see if that ladder, if I'm on the ground, how deep it's sitting. Because with all the snow melt we've had here now, we've got some really soft ground. So I have to make sure that when I'm setting this ladder, it's not going to sink one side or the other when I go around and set it up, because that's going to throw me off the ladder and cause a lot of problems. And around the front of the house, we're going to be dealing with some power lines. So that's another issue. It's a big ladder, power lines nearby. If it goes, odds are it's going to hit those power lines. So you're going to be safe and make sure you're checking that out. Make sure the ladder is secure and it's not going anywhere. So that's just a couple things to think about when you're going to be using the ladder this spring. Be aware of your surroundings, conditions, and if you don't already have one, do yourself a favor, pick up a pivot tool. You're not going to regret it. It's going to save your life, and it's going to save you a lot of time. So this has been another episode of Weather or Not. I hope you've enjoyed the winter season this time, and look forward to seeing you on windowcleaningresource.com. Bye.